comes to promotional issues, I want to first of all thank the national leadership of NAGRAT, led by Mr. Eric Kabanu, for giving me this opportunity to interact and share some thoughts with NAGRAT members who are actually preparing for this year's promotion. Also, I want to acknowledge my IT team. Without this team, I know I will be nobody. And the IT team is led by Mr. Patrick Biney. He is in the central region in our education office, and he will be doing all the controls for us. And it is because of him we will have a very smooth presentation this evening. So, Mr. Biney, good evening, and good evening to all regional chair across the country. And first of all, this year, as you prepare for the promotion, you need to understand one thing. Please, my number is on the screen. You can write it somewhere. When I'm done with the presentation, I will make the presentation available to the national leadership, and they will in turn send it to your regional levels for you to have the presentation for the promotion. As we are all aware, this year is for 2 badges. Whilst it's for 2 badges, we need to be extra careful. I mean, we need to be extra careful as we are preparing. And when you get any information and you keep sharing on other platforms, what you are trying to say is that more people should pass and you should be denied. So the information that we'll be sharing for you, please, is for your personal keep. Don't share it onto 10 platforms, and the 10 platforms will also intend pushing it to another 10. Then before you realize, it is all over, and the pass rate will be high, and the cut-off points will affect so many people. Please don't share this information we are going to give you to anybody. And that is why your national leadership have to decide to make it a very close one, where only NAGRAT members are permitted to join. Before I say anything, I want you to write this tip down. As you are preparing for the exams, the first thing you need to know even before you enter the exam hall is that the questions you are going to write, they are not the same. Please, questions are not the same. The questions, permit me to say that they are the same, but the questions are not also the same. So if you get into the exam hall, please, there is something you need to do. Don't ask anybody for A or B answers. Don't ask people or somebody sitting close to you for A or B answers. Please don't do that, because your question 1, the one who is sitting by you, your question 1 may be the person's question 10. So if you turn and you are asking the person, what is his question 1? And he tells you that his question 1, or what is the answer for question 1? And the person tells you, oh, question 1 is A. And you quickly go and write A, you may be wrong. Because his question 1 is not the same as your question 1. And that is what you need to understand. His question 1 is not your question 1. So if you by chance get the opportunity to ask a question, or you want to ask a colleague in the exams, you need to be specific. You need to be specific with the question you are asking. You need to ask the person, question 10 on GES, this, what is the answer? Because your question 10 is not the same question 10 with the one who is sitting by you. And you need to watch it out. So if you want and you think somebody in the exam hall is helping you, please, the person is doing you great disservice. So please don't accept A or B answers in this exam. Please don't accept it. Also, The examiners will want, the moment you go into the exams, they will want to destabilize you. The examiners will want to destabilize you. And you will see that when you go into the exams and you read the first question, you will realize that the first question will be a little bit difficult. There is a reason why they did it that way. And the reason is for them to destabilize you. Please, if you read question 1 and you are not seeing top, and you read question 2, please don't continue. Jump and go to question 11. Please, I'm repeating it once again, that if you read question 1 and the answer is not very clear, question 2 and it's not clear, stop from there. Move to question 11. When you get to question 11, you will realize that from question 11, it will be smooth for you. And when you move from question 11 and you get to question 75, then you now come back to question 1 to 10. When you do that, at the time you will finish question 11 to 75 and you come back to 1 to 10, you will realize that the answers will open up smoothly for you. Please take note of that. With time, before I'll end today or I'll begin tomorrow, the national leadership are saying that they want all NAGRAT members across the country to score the first 25 questions true or false. So I will show you a technique where if you go into the exams, the 25 true or false questions, every NAGRAT member should be able to score it. And I'm saying that we either do that today or early tomorrow, but depending on how time will permit us, we'll do justice to that. And for the DD candidates, also, the feeling is always a problem for the DDs. And I know a lot of people who are joining will say, yes, the feeling is the problem. Mr. Baini, somebody is talking at the background. Can you mute the person for me? Yes, so the DD and the feeling is the problem. And I will show you where you will be able to find answers for the feeling. We'll do that, God willing, by tomorrow thereabout. We'll let you know that the feeling is very simple. And there's a technique you need to employ, and you will get the feeling correct as well. So that is what we'll be offering you at the end of the 4 days. It is our belief that if you are a NAGRAT member, the leadership of Mr. Eric Kabanu, your national president, is saying that, look, NAGRAT members need to have 100% pass in this particular promotion exams we are going to. Let me quickly run you through some of the outline. We will have a very good understanding of assessment, measurement, and evaluation. A lot of people get confused and they don't know at what time do we do measurement, at what time do we do assessment, at what time do we do evaluation. We'll treat that. We'll look at educational management and administration. We'll look at curriculum development. We'll look at sustainable development goals. We'll look at the educational agenda. Then those who are going for DD again will still come back with the educational. You know, this year, the Ghana Education Service, there will be a lot of questions on Ghana Education Service. Why? Because Ghana Education Service is celebrating its Golden Jubilee. And please, you will have a lot of questions coming from this particular area. And myself and my team, we are ready to water down the watertight when it comes to all this particular part of it. And we will be looking at educational research. We'll be looking at supervision, mentorship, leadership. We'll be looking at classroom and school management. We'll be looking at educational theories or learning theories. A lot of teachers fear that we'll look at the teacher professional standards, we'll look at some current affairs, we'll look at educational laws and policies, and we'll look at assessment and measurements as well. Then it's the same thing here, and the same here. The questions you will meet are in three folds. For the DD, they are in three parts. But for AD1, AD2, PS, they are also in two parts. You'll be having multiple choice questions. And still here, we will introduce you to a methodology that you will apply. When you apply that methodology, you are going to get the answers right. Now, I already told you about the true or false. I'm going to tell you a simple principle. For the past 3 years, I have been engaging NAGRAT members and I've been exposing them to this principle. And every time they come and the success story is always very loud. This year, we are going to repeat it again. That all NAGRAT members, the true or false questions, the 25 true or false questions, all NAGRAT members are supposed, it's compulsory that you score these 25 questions. Your leadership is saying so. The president of NAGRAT is saying that don't spare the 25 questions. If possible, use less than 7 minutes to answer the 25. And we will let you understand why you don't need so much time. We'll let you understand why you don't need so much time to be able to score this 25. We'll do all this on this particular platform. Then the feeling, I told the DDs, relax. If you know you are going for DD and you think in the feeling you are not prepared, you don't know what to do, please, NAGRAT is telling you that relax. They are in control. NAGRAT will let you get whatever that you have. On this note, I want to start my presentation with the first topic, which has to do with the Ministry of Education. So what I was saying is that the first topic I'm going to look at is the Ministry of Education. And I want to give you a story. And with that story, I will be able to link the story to what I'm going to present to you this evening. And I said that we were ruled by the wise for a very long time. And there were some merchants in the country who came together and said, look, we need our independence. They had the money, but they did not have what it takes to govern a country. So they had to call or rely on one man who was abroad studying and who they believed that he might have gotten a good understanding of how to govern the country. So they invited Dr. Kwame Nkrumah home, and the merchants actually needed or wanted independence within the shortest possible time. Nkrumah wanted independence with now. So the two ideologies could not meet. So they had to separate. Later in 1957, Nkrumah gained independence for Ghana. And immediately Nkrumah gained independence for Ghana, Nkrumah realized that for the country to develop, the educational structure must be well built. So in 1957, Nkrumah formed the Ministry of Education. Now, the examiners are also aware that when you are reading, you don't pay attention to details. And NAGRAT leadership at the national level is telling me, Solomon, tell NAGRAT members that they need to pay attention to details. Now, this is the first detail the examiner wants to know. I will slow. All right, so let me slow down. So in 1957, when Ghana gained its independence, there was a need for Nkrumah to quickly put up a structure that would boost the economy of the country, and he fell on education. So in 1957, he formed the Ministry of Education. But the examiners are aware that when you are reading, you don't pay attention to details. Now look at this. The law that actually established the Ministry of Education is the Civil Service Law 327. Please pay attention to that. Well, when you go into the exam hall, they could just change it as Law 237, Law B, Law 327, Law 427. Then at the end, you don't know which one, but you read it. So it was the Civil Service Law 327 under the PNDC Law 1993 gave birth to the Ministry of Education. Now, I want you to also understand that the major role or the key role of the ministry is policy formulation. They are supposed to formulate policies. They do other things, but the first thing they are supposed to do is to formulate policies. Now, somebody will be asking, what is the vision of the ministry? The vision of the ministry is to provide relevant education to all Ghanaian children at all levels. And the key word is all children, all Ghanaian children at all levels. So the ministry covers from KG, primary, junior high, senior high, colleges, technical university, and university at all those levels. That is their vision. So now, the mission is to formulate policies that will ensure that there is quality education in the country. Now, and their mandate, I already told you, their mandate is more of formulation of national educational policies and programs at all levels in the country. That is their role. Now, let's quickly look at the functions of the Ministry of Education. The first function, which I will always want to let you understand, is that they initiate and they formulate educational policies at all levels of our educational system. They coordinate, they monitor the other agencies in the implementation of the policies that they have actually formulate. They also undertake research to know whether policies that have been implemented are effective. They also review government policies. They allocate resources to the agencies that are under them. These are some of the functions of the Ministry of Education. Now, we want to look at some of the agencies that are under the ministry. And the first agency we'll be looking at this evening is the Ghana Education Service, where all of us belong. The Ghana Education Service is the first thing we'll be looking at. And as you are preparing for these exams, let me let you know that as you are preparing for these exams, GES is a place we all need to look out for. And I told you why we all need to look at GES. We need to look at GES because GES is celebrating its golden jubilee. And when it gets to that time, I will give special attention to Ghana Education Service. Now, the second agency we'll be looking at is the Ghana Technical and Vocational Education and Training. At times, they will write it as TVET Service. Another time, they will write it as TVET Service. Please take note of that. I'll be talking a lot about that when we actually get to that place. Then we also have the Ghana Library Authority. Then we also have the National Service Secretariat. A lot of people have been making so much noise on social media that National Service Secretariat is no more under the Ministry of Education. Please disregard that. In this country, laws actually put these agencies under the ministry, and there is no any official communication from the government taking out. There's no any official communication from the government taking out National Service. So as and when the government officially writes to take it, then we will all respect it. But for now, please, National Service is still there. We have WAIC, we have National Archives, Also, we have scholarship, secretariat. We have Get Fund. We have GAS. We have GTEC. We have TVET. I'll be speaking much about TVET. We also have NASIA. We have NTC. We have NACA. We have Ghana Book Development Council. We have Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schools. And we have UNESCO. UNESCO is an international organization, but its commission in Ghana is under the ministry. Then we also have the Complementary Education Agency. I'll be speaking a lot about this particular thing. It used to be non-formal, and they have changed it to Complementary Education Agency. When I get there, I will hammer so much on it and let you understand why it is now, and I'll let you to know the acts that actually changed it from non-formal to Complementary Education Agency. Then the 19th one is the Student Loan Trust Fund. So there are 19 agencies under the Ministry of Education. What you need to know about these agencies is that any question that is coming here is going to be talking about the function of that agency. And very soon, I'll let you understand that the function is in the name. For instance, like WAEC. WAEC, definitely they conduct exams. You understand? WAEC, they definitely conduct exams. If you go to scholarship secretary, definitely they give scholarships. And I will come back and look at all this. One thing you need to know as you are preparing for these exams is under the Ministry of Education is the Education Strategic Plan. Please, the Ministry of Education is operating with the Education Strategic Plan. So if you are actually writing for DD, you need to know the full meaning of ESP. Now, let me give you a small background about how come the ministry has adopted this Education Strategic Plan, and it's a 12-year plan that is to see to it that education in Ghana moves in the right direction, and we call it the Education Strategic Plan. Before the introduction of this plan, in the year 2000, there was something that happened, and we had the Millennium Development Goals, which came out with 8 goals, and these 8 goals were so bulky, where sometimes they say that goal number 1 or so, eradicate poverty and hunger. Poverty is a whole component. Hunger is also a whole component. So at the end of the year 2015, you know, the Millennium Development Goals were supposed to run for 15 years. So 2000 to 2015. At the end of 2015, when they came for evaluation of the goals, one of the reasons they got why they could not achieve the goals after 15 years was that the goals were bulky. So they decided to now separate the goals and introduce what is known as the Sustainable Development Goals, what you would call the SDGs. Now, the SDG is also supposed to travel for 15 years, so from 2015 to 2030. And that is also that particular one also there. Now, let's see this. Now, what you need to know is that the Ministry of Education, when they took over the strategic plan, they did not want to commit the same mistakes that the Millennium Development Goals committed. So as you are preparing for these exams, anytime you see any question on ESP, there are 2 things the examiner wants to know. The examiner wants to know, do you know the year frame for the Education Strategic Plan? And I'm here because of the leadership of NAGRAT National to tell you that what you need to observe here is 2018 to 2030. So the moment they are asking, when the examiner is coining the question and he's talking about the Education Strategic Plan adopted by the Ministry of Education, which is supposed to talk about whatever, know that what he wants to know is that, are you aware that the strategic plan is from 2018 to 2030? Please take note of that. Now, as a DD person again, you need to know that the Ministry of Education, after developing that 12-year plan to manage education in the country, they did not go to sleep the way the Millennium Development Goals slept. So after 4 years, the Ministry of Education came out with a medium-term development plan, and we call it the Education Sector Medium-Term Development Plan, and it is called ESMTDP. Please, if you are writing DD, know that you need to know this. If they ask you what is the full meaning of ESMTDP, when they ask you what is the full meaning of ESMTD, you should tell them that is the Education Sector Medium-Term Development Plan. Now, here, the examiner also has one question for you here. The examiner wants to know, do you know the year period where this medium-term development plan was done? Then you tell him that, yes, it is from 2018 to 2021. Please, in the name of NAGRAT, take note of this date because it will drop 2018 to 2021. That was when the Ministry of Education did the medium-term development plan. And when they did their research, they realized that education average growth rate has increased by 4.3% in real terms. That is what you need to know. Now, something happened last time. The last exams, the teachers wrote, there were questions on the organogram of the Ministry of Education. And 2 questions came out from here. And all those who entered for that question actually got the question wrong. This year, please, the examiners are aware that last year, a lot of people got it wrong. So while they got it wrong, they will repeat questions on the organogram. So let me tell you something and tell you the question they asked the last time. The last time, the examiners asked, how many directories are under the Ministry of Education? And teachers were all over saying that there's no question like that. There's nothing like directories under the ministry. Yes. NAGRAT is telling me this evening, led by the national president, that should inform you that, hey, don't make the mistake of last year, people. There are 9 directories. So you see from the diagram, you see that blue part. Let me use a pointer. You see from this part, this blue part of it, these are the directories, and there are 9. I'll be telling you about those directories, and I'll tell you how the organogram is supposed to work. Now,
please, we can see your
sideways. Screen. You say what?
We can see your screen with the organogram.
Don't worry. We'll share the organogram with you. Don't worry. Just listen to what I'm going to say. I will touch on everything that has to do with the organogram. So you relax. You will get everything. The lecture notes will be provided to you when I'm done with the presentation tomorrow. We'll give it to you. But I will explain everything for you to understand. Now, at the top of the organogram is the minister. The minister is having deputy, sometimes deputies, depending on the political party that is in power. Some political parties can decide to use 3 deputies. Some, currently we are only having 1 deputy. Some can decide to use 2 deputies. But then, below that is the chief director. The chief director is not appointed by any political party. The chief director is a technocrat at the ministry. He is the one doing all the brain work at the ministry. So if you see that yellow line, the yellow box, which represents the chief director, where this my light is pointing, if you go to the right side of it, you see another box showing the agencies. All these green lines are the 19 agencies under the ministry. So for instance, if Ghana Education Service has a problem in the implementation of the policies formed by the Ministry of Education, they need to report it to the Chief Director. The Chief Director will direct that problem to the directories. Let me now mention some of the directories we have. We have a directorate in charge of pre-tertiary education, pre-tertiary directorate. We have a directorate in charge of planning, budgeting, monitoring and evaluation directorate. We have a directorate in charge of statistics, research, information management. We have another directorate in charge of tertiary education, so tertiary directorate. We have a directorate in charge of human resource management. We have a directorate in charge of technical and vocational education. We have a directorate in charge of finance. We have a directorate in charge of procurement, and we have a directorate in charge of general administration. These are the 9 directorates. So please, as you are going, know that there are 9 directorates under the Ministry of Education. And we also have a man who coordinates everybody at the ministry, and the person is called the Chief Director. And also there are some 5 units there. We have the legal unit, we have the internal audit unit, we also have the client service unit, we have the PR unit, and we have the delivery unit. These are what? Units. And that was how the last year batch people missed this question. Now let me tell you where the second question came from. Now, every ministry in Ghana here is supposed to have an advisory board. Every ministry is supposed to have an advisory board. So now, let's look at the advisory board of the Ministry of Education. The board is actually supposed to advise the ministry on various relevant issues. For instance, maybe the free senior high school, are you getting me? And they will advise the minister, look, why do you allow children to go home 3 months or 4 months before coming to school? That is the work of the advisory board. Now look at the composition of the advisory board. The advisory board is chaired. The advisory board is chaired by the minister, and the deputy minister is also a member of the advisory board. Another person who is also in the advisory board is the chief director at the Ministry of Education. The 4th person who is supposed to be represented at the advisory board is the chairman of GES Council. The 5th person is the director general of GES. The 6th person is a representative of GTEC. And the 7th person is a representative from the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Then the 8th person, who is supposed to also be on the advisory board, is a representative of the National Education Campaign Coalition. You know, all the NGOs that are into education, they have come together and they have a coalition. One of them is supposed to be under. Then the 9th person has to do with a representative of the Association of Industries. Then they have to look for 2 experts in education. These are the people who are supposed.
Can you go over this again?
All right. So, okay. So just give me 1 second. Let me just take in water. All right. Now I take the advisory boards again. Now, I told you that the advisory board is actually required by law for every ministry to have it. And the Ministry of Education also has its own advisory board. And the advisory board is chaired by the minister. His deputy minister is also a member of the advisory board. Now, the chief director at the Ministry of Education is also a member of the advisory board. The chairman of GES Council is also a member. The Director General of GES is a member. And there is a representative of Ghana Industry, GTEC. And number 7 is a representative of the Ministry of Labor and Employment. And the 8th representative is from the coalition of NGOs. And number 9 is that there should be a representative of the Association of what? Industries. Then there should be 2 experts in education. In education. Now, this was the question they asked them last year, and let me also ask you this year. They asked the question, all the following members are members of the advisory body of the Ministry of Education, except, and they underline the except. Now, A, Chief Director, B, Chairman of GES Council, C, Director General of GES, D, Director General of GTEC. Now, on mute, which one is the answer?
Director General of GTEC.
General of
GTEC.
The first one
is D. The answer is D.
is supposed to be a rep.
So GTEC, I think GTEC, that is. Oh.
So now see the confusion. You see, some are saying D, some are saying A. So last year, the candidates were arguing that GTEC is a member. So, but don't forget that GTEC, they don't need the Director General of GTEC. They only need a representative of what? GTEC. Please take note of that. So the D answer was Director General of GTEC. But that is the except one. That is the right answer. Because the GTEC is supposed to have a representative, but they don't need the Director General of GTEC in that particular board. But they need a representative. So please watch out. So that this year, when they go and twist the question and say that, oh, a representative of GES Council, know that GES Council is supposed to be represented with their chairman. Not only their chairman, with, again, their Director General. So take note of that. Don't commit the blender. Our people actually did last year, and we suffered. So when I was talking to the national president, what he said was that, Solo, make sure that you take your time and let NAGRAT members nationwide get a good understanding of Ghana Education Service. I said, President, I will do that for you. I said, President, I will do it for you. Now, I told you that GES is celebrating its golden jubilee. GES was formed in 1974. We are in 2025. It means that GES is 51 years, but still we are celebrating 50 years. You get it? So as you go into the exam, the GES want to know, after being in existence for 51 years, members of GES, do you even know GES very well as you are preparing for this particular aptitude test? And the leadership of NAGRAT is saying, now look, King Solomon, do justice to GES. And here I will take my time. Here the president was very emphatic that, look, slow down here. And I'm going to go slowly. And I want everybody to follow what I will be doing in a very systematic order. Because it's an order from the national president. It's an order. And I need to follow that order keenly. Now, what you need to know as far as these exams is concerned is that GES was actually established in 1974. But then It was established by the National Redemption Council decree. And the degree that established GES is 4247. Please take note of this figure. Even if you forget of the degree that actually established this particular where you are working, just remember that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 247. 247 degree 247 actually established GES. Subsequently, it was amended by the National Redemption Council decree again, 252. Now, this is what I want to tell you. Somebody may be asking, why did they use degree? And these are military rules. During military era, laws that are passed are degrees. During constitutional era, laws that are passed are acts. Know that. But then, as you go into the exams, remember that 247 did the magic for the Ghana Education Service. Now, what is the vision of Ghana Education Service? What is their vision? The vision of Ghana Education Service is to create an enabling environment in all educational institutions and management positions that will facilitate effective teaching and learning. Now, they are supposed to be responsible for implementation. GES is an implementing agency. They are supposed to implement policies that are being formulated by the Ministry of Education at the pre-tertiary level of our education. That is what they are supposed to be doing. Now, let's look at the functions of GES. The first thing you need to talk about GES is its ability to what? Implement what? Policies. They register, they supervise, they inspect, they submit recommendations, they promote teachers, they carry out promotions, and what have you. That is not important. This is what I want to tell you. And when I was having the conversation with the national president, he said, Solo, waste a lot of time here. Let my NAGRAT members who are going to write this exam know that if they are reading any book and the book is telling them that the divisions at the GES headquarters is 10, they should throw the book away. This is not coming from me. Your national president is saying I should tell you that if you are currently reading any book in your room, if you are reading a book in your room, and that book is telling you the divisions at the GES headquarters is 10, please. Mr. Eric Kabonu is saying that throw that book away. Please, throw the book away. There are 5 divisions at the GES headquarters. 5. Let me run you through the 5. The first division at the GES headquarters is the Human Resource Division. Second is the Administration Division. Third is Finance. Third is Finance. Fourth is Schools and Instructions Division. And number 5 is Special Education Division. Because the national president is insisting on this, I will repeat it again. Now, he's saying that I should let you understand, very soon I will be quoting the Constitution. I will be quoting the laws of the land that made this thing 5. We are not only telling you it's 5, but we are telling you with evidence that at the GES headquarters, the divisions that are there are 5. Number 1 is the Human Resource Division. Please write it down. Number 2 is the Administration Division. Number 3 is Finance Division. Number 4 is Schools and Instruction Division. Number 5 is Special Education Division. These are the 5 divisions at the GES headquarters. 5 of the divisions at the GES headquarters. Now, let me tell you something. After the 5 divisions at the GES headquarters, there are 29 units. Please take note of that. there are 29 units at the GES headquarters. So very soon I'll be assessing you. I just told you that we have 5 divisions. We have 29 units at the GES headquarters. Now, the examiner will want to know, which of the division has the highest unit? Which of the division has the least units? Which of the division or which of the divisions have equal units? These are common things that you need to know as far as this particular exams is concerned. So I'm taking you back again. The human resource division has 7 units. Write it down. It has 7 units. Postings and transfer units, steady leave units, welfare units, pension units, IPPD units. There was a year like that 3 years ago. There was an old man who was in the exam hall and he ran out of the exam hall, entered the bathroom and he called me. Solo, what is the full meaning of IPPD? Hello? What is the full meaning of IPPD? I said, but there's an IPPD in your district office. I said, I don't know. We've been calling him IPPD officer. But
Mr. Solo,
yes, please.
We didn't hear the question. The line was breaking.
You didn't hear what?
The question. Your question,
you didn't hear
the
what?
question which your question, the immediate question.
Sir,
okay.
Your line was breaking.
The question has to do with the HR unit division. The division under HR, how many are they?
I said there are 7 units under the HR. And I've mentioned 5.
The 7th
one has to do with
records.
Records and units, record units, and statistics and planning. These are the 7 units under the HR. Now, under administration, we have 4 units. We have the IT unit, estates unit, we have the Director General Secretariat unit, and we have the cleaners and watchmen unit. These are 4. Now, finance has 3 units. Budget, account unit, supply and logistic unit. Then schools and instruction units have 8 units. 8. The science education unit, guidance and counseling unit, culture unit, SHEP unit, girl child education unit, early childhood unit, CSSPS unit, and partnership and affiliation. This has 8 units. Then now, special education division. Special education has 7 units. Inclusive education units. We have the education for visually impaired unit, Braille units. We have the National Assessment and Resource Center units. We have the education for learning disability units. We have the education for intellectual development disability units. Then we also have the education for hearing impaired units. These are also what? 7. So now, unmute and answer my questions for me. Now, if they ask which of the division has the highest unit is what?
School and
which of the division has the least unit?
Finance.
Administration.
Finance.
Finance. Finance has 3 units.
Yes, finance.
Finance has the least.
Finance has 3, but administration is having 4. So the least unit is what? It's finance. Then now answer this question again. Which of the divisions have equal units?
Special education. Human resource and special education.
Okay, that's good. Human resource has 7. Special education is also having what? 7.
Seven.
All right, my IT team, can you kindly mute all of them for me? Now I can go back and tell the national president that this one has.
Please, we can't hear you again. I think you are muted.
The IT team actually muted me. Don't worry. This is my IT team. They are working very hard. They muted all of you. They muted all of you and added me.
Based on your instructions, sir.
All right. Now I can confidently go back to the national president and tell him that I am executing what he has asked me to do. Mr. Kabonu is so passionate about this. And he's saying that I should also let you know that at the GES headquarters, there is somebody called the Director General. And the Director General is assisted by 2 people. And the 2 people, one is in charge of quality and access, and the other one is in charge of management service. So these 2 directors, I'm not interested in their names. You can go and find out about their names. But all what we need to let you know as you prepare is that there is a Director General at the GES headquarters. Below the Director General, there are 2 deputies. One is in charge of quality and access, and the other one is in charge of management service. Now, this is very important for you as you prepare for your exams. Know that 3 of the divisions are under management service. And what are these divisions? Human Resource Division, Administration Division, Finance Division. These 3 divisions are under management service. They are under management service. Now, 2 of the divisions, which is schools and instruction and special education, is under quality and access. Now, I will not let them unmute you, but what I want you to know is that 3 of these divisions are under management service. 3 of these divisions, human resource, administration, finance, they are under management service. And the woman, it is a woman who is this deputy director. Her name is Professor Smile. Now, these 2, schools and instruction, special education, they report to quality and access. And it is one Dr. Ishak also there. That is Ghana Education Service for you. Now, as you prepare for these particular exams, you need to know that there are some structures at the district education or municipal education or metropolitan education offices. And these structures are 8 in numbers. Please know them. And I have projected them for you. The first structure at the district education office or at any educational office is there's a PTA structure, there's an SMC, there is what we call DIOC, District Education Oversight Committee, DIOC. But remember that if it is a municipal, it will be MIOC. If it is a metropolitan, it will also be what? MIOC, instead of what? DIOC. Then we also have the District Education Planning Team. I'll be talking a lot about this. Then is that what? My IT team. I beg, mute them for me. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that these age structures, you need to watch them very carefully. I'll be telling you a lot about the age structures. We'll be talking about the spam. I will tell you so much about the district teacher support team. It's in every education office. But as you are preparing for this exam, it needs to be on your fingertips. We will be talking so much about the district dictionary committee. And I'll tell you the role NAGRAT or any union is supposed to play. I'll let you understand. Then we will talk about the district insect committee. Now, I will not talk about PTA because we all know PTA. I will not talk about SMC because we all know SMC. But what is worrying is that if you go to most of the schools, you go and you don't find, in most of the basic schools, you don't find SMC chairman or SMC committee, SMC. You only find PTA. I don't know whether because of their levy they've been collecting. That's why the primary schools fancy PTA than SMC. But when we go further, you will see why SMC is even more important than PTA. But surprisingly, the head teachers do not value SMC. They value PTA because of the coins that comes there. But that is not my problem for tonight. We are going to look at JOC. And JOC is District Education Oversight Committee, JOC. JOC is made up of 13 members. Please take note of this. If you have a diary somewhere, write it down. 13 members make up JOC. I will run you through the 13 members that makes up JOC. Number one, the district chief executive is the chairman of JOC. In the absence of the district chief executive, it is the chairman of the subcommittee of education that is supposed to what? To chair the meeting in the absence of the district chief executive. The district director of education is also a member of the committee of JOC, but they are secretaries. A district director is supposed to be a secretary at JOC. Now, the district director of health is also a member of JOC. And somebody will ask, why are they bringing health people inside? And, you know, they will attend here and be able to also make their input and tell them, okay, the health people will be coming around the schools to vaccinate some students, or they want to give them some drugs, and they will also pick it and factor it into their educational system. And that's why they need to be there. The district social welfare officer is a member of JOC. There should be one representative of the district assembly, which the person must be a woman. And there is one representative of the traditional rulers in that particular district. They are supposed to nominate one person to come and represent them. Then there should be one representative of religious bodies in the district. And there should be one representative of the association of teachers. And it is on rotational base. So when NAGRAT goes, NAT will come, CCT will come, like that. They are on what? Rotational basis. Then there's a representative of the PTA in the region and in the district. The SMC in the district also has a representative. Then there should be one woman identified with social development in the district. Then there should be one person, a representative from the private schools, also is a member. These are the 13 members of JOC. Please take note of that. JOC has 13 members. 13 members. 13 members. Last time, 13 members. And that JOC, somebody will ask, what is the function of JOC? What is their work? What are they supposed to be doing? Now, the JOC, one of these things they are supposed to do is to oversee to the condition of the school buildings and infrastructure in the district. So they are supposed to go around, see the school structures, are they good? Do the district assembly need to change something or what? They are supposed to go around and check all those things. Now, they are supposed to also make sure that teachers are regular, teachers attend punctual, and they are supposed to perform their functions very well. They are supposed to go around and do all this and many others. There are 4 subcommittees under JOC. Take note of that. 4 subcommittees. And the 4 subcommittees, as a DD candidate, you need to know it. AD1 to PS, they just need to know that the subcommittees are what? Are 4. Let me mention the subcommittees. There's a subcommittee on the appointment and promotion, dictionary subcommittee. We have the administrative and finance subcommittee. Then the last subcommittee under GEOC is monitoring and evaluation. These are the 4 subcommittees for GEOC. Now let's go to the district education planning team. And you know, they are supposed to plan. This team is supposed to be able to bring out action plans. So
Sir.
they come to get.
Sir,
Yes.
please, if you can go over the subcommittees again.
Okay.
If you can go over the subcommittees, you are a bit fast.
That's what I'm
the
just about to
GEOC.
do, madam. Madam, that's what I'm about to do. So the subcommittees, I said the subcommittees are 4. And the 4, we have a subcommittee on appointment and promotion. There is a subcommittee on dictionary. There's a subcommittee on administrative and finance. And the 4th is on monitoring and evaluation. These are the 4 subcommittees under District Education Oversight Committee, popularly known as GEOC. Now, the next structure we are going to look at is the District Education Planning Team. This one, they come together at the beginning of the term, and they try to look at action plans. What should they be doing? What should they be doing in the beginning of the term? Okay, let them have, we'll let second supervisor crisscross each other to go and supervise. We'll do this. We'll have to send some people to go and monitor, to go and inspect lesson notes. We'll do. That is the work of the district education planning team. They will plan the whole term, what they are supposed to do. Now, the district teacher support team is a team of 12 members headed by the training officer. The training officer has the DTST. The training officer is supposed to help that. So now what he's supposed to do is that, because it's at the pre-tertiary level, the training officer is supposed to also choose another 11 teachers to add to his or herself, and they form the district teacher support team, and they call themselves master trainers. Now, if you are a teacher or a head teacher and you have challenges in your school, maybe your teachers are not able to prepare TLMs and teach the topic fraction, you don't need to worry yourself. You just need to call the training officer. Oh, training officer, my teachers, can you come to our school on Wednesday, 2 o'clock during our PLC to take us through how to prepare TLMs and teach the topic fraction? Then the training officer will look among his 12 members who can do that, and he will nominate one person. Please, after that, go to Medina Primary at 2 o'clock and help them to be able to prepare TLMs and teach the topic what? Fraction. That is what the teacher support team is supposed to be doing. And the SPAM, which is School Performance Appraisal Meeting. This is a meeting of stakeholders where you bring all the stakeholders together. The students will be seated, the teachers will be seated, community members will be seated, opinion leaders in the community will be, education workers will be seated, and they try to find out what is the problem of education there. The students will give their views, the teachers will give their views, parents will also give their views, and education officers will also give. And at the end, they will plan on how to improve their learning outcome. That is SPAM for you. Now we have Madam. Now we have the district disciplinary committee. We have the district disciplinary committee, and this one, they are supposed to investigate issues of misconduct of staff in the district. And I will always recommend that. Oh, madam, what is the problem again?
Please, your screen, the one you are showing, we are not seeing it.
Cannot see my screen.
Yes, sir.
If you're not seeing, please log out and then join again because it's from your session, not from the facilitator, please.
All right.
We can see
you.
the district disciplinary committee.
Yes, please.
We all can see it.
Please, can you see the screen?
Hello, Mr. Solo.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, we can see.
yes,
Yes, we can see it. We can see it.
We want the district disciplinary committee.
Yes, we can
Yes,
see this.
that's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
We
Mr. Solo,
can see
hello.
that slide.
The screen is blank.
But we are seeing the spam rather.
It's fine.
Yeah, Mr. Solo.
Yes.
I think what the lady was saying is true. Your slides are late. As compared, you are moving faster than the slides. So if possibly you can see how best the slides will also reflect alongside while you are presenting, that will help.
All right. Well
thank you.
noted.
Yo, boss, thank you.
If you call me Mr. Solo, I won't mind you. You need to call me King Solomon.
King Solomon.
Yeah.
That's just by the way.
King Solomon.
That's by the way.
So King Solomon, your screen is
Solomon, we hear you.
showing. The slide is very small.
All right, thank you, boss.
Okay.
Solomon.
Okay. So now I'm talking about the district disciplinary committee. And you know, they mostly investigate issues of misconduct of GES staff in the districts and make recommendation to GES Council through the regional director. And mostly the union the teacher belongs to must be represented in this disciplinary committee. A lot of teachers go into disciplinary committees. Why is your hand up again? A lot of teachers go into disciplinary committee without their union. Your union is supposed to be in the disciplinary committee, where sometimes the director himself can be seated in the committee. The HR is there, the PRO is there to take minutes. Your union must be in this committee before you allow this committee to make any progress. Now, the last structure I'll be talking about is the district insect committee, which has to do with organization of workshop in the district. There are some 6 people who are supposed to sit and plan whether the workshop is beneficial or it's not beneficial. They are supposed to sit and plan. Now, the district director is supposed to be there. The training officer is supposed to be there. Supervision is supposed to be there to say that, oh, as I go around to supervise, the teachers, they need that workshop. Human resource must also talk. Planning must plan and give the statistics of teachers in the district for the workshop. The budget officer must come out with how much they can charge, how much will be used for snack, how much will be used for venue, the budget officer. There was a year they asked. They just picked 3 of these members and brought a 4th one, and they were asking for you to remove somebody who is not part of the district insect committee. Please take note of this question as well. Now, the highest decision-making body, we are going to look at the governing bodies. And GES, our governing body is the GES Council. GES Council.
King Solo.
Yes.
Solomon, your slides are late.
I don't know,
please.
Is the network? It's not for me. It's the network. So is it on the governing bodies now?
No, it's on a district committee.
No, what we are projecting is on spam.
It's on spam.
That's serious.
Yes, spam.
It's on governing body.
I can see
It's on
that.
governing body.
Governing body.
Hello,
I
on the
can see
governing
that.
body.
It's on
Their
the
network.
governing body.
Mine is
So
on
you
the
cannot see
governing
it there. I
body.
think the
Mine is on the
One of
spam.
network problem at
But is it possible we allow him to do the presentation? Then when he finished, then he can share the slides with us, so that it will not be wasting our time.
No. Better he goes alongside with the slide. Some of us are doing screenshotting that way to do revision.
But if he share the slide with us after the presentation, we can still use it.
Okay, well,
So that we
I
can
think that
go.
is what he said. He said after the presentation, he's going to share the slide. So let's allow.
Some of us, we have the slide we're talking about. The governing bodies, we have it.
I don't have.
If you go along, the slide should go along because he said he's going to give it to the district, the regional, and the executives.
Please continue with the meeting.
Please move along with the slide. Because when is it going to receive the slide?
Please allow him to continue. Gentlemen, allow him to
Let him
continue.
continue for us.
Hello, King Solomon.
The interruptions are becoming too much. You don't allow him to flow.
No, we all need to ask questions. King Solo. Hello, King Solomon.
Yes, I'm here.
I said
tell him to link everybody up.
Try and share the slide with us.
I said that at the beginning. I said I'll give it to the leadership and they'll share it to your regions and you all get it.
That's good. That's good.
So please, can you allow me to flow because you've slowed me down. I only have 30 minutes to close. And there's so much for you to
everybody. You mute all of us. Mute all of us and continue.
Please, you are muted.
We can't hear you, King Solo.
Please unmute King Solomon.
Mr. Bani, can you unmute Solo for us?
All right, I'm unmuted. Now, the highest decision-making body at GS is the GS Council. There was a year like that, they set a question and they were asking that a teacher has been dismissed and they wanted to know who actually dismissed the teacher because the teachers were arguing that the one who dismissed the teacher, his signature was on the letter and that was the Director General. So I'm also asking you, the one who is listening to me today, if they dismiss a teacher, who dismisses the teacher?
Director General.
It's the GS Service Council.
GS Council.
Is the GS Council?
No approve for the Director General to act.
Yeah, the Director General GS Council that dismissed, but not the Director General. All right. So now at the secondary schools, we have Board of Governors. At the basic schools, we have School Management Committee, SMCs. At the college, we have College Council. At the university, we have University Council. Now, there are 12 members under GES Council. And here again, the national president was very strict to tell me that, King Solomon, tell my NAGRAT people that if you are reading any book that is telling you that the council members are 15, he said you should throw that book away. And I'm here as a messenger of the national president and his executives to tell you that if you are reading any book, I'm telling you, any pamphlet you are reading that is having 15 members as council members, don't even read anything in that book again. Throw that book away. That is what Mr. Kabonu is telling me to tell you. That you should throw that book away. And I will be explaining to you later why the national president wants you to throw such a book away. I will come there in the next 10 minutes. Why you need to throw such a book away. The council members are 12. Let me run you through the composition of the council members. One, there is a chairman with at least 10 years of experience. Now, WAEC has a representative at National Council. NASIA has a representation. NTC is represented. NACA is represented. The teacher unions or teacher association, and they go on rotational basis. 4 years, if it is NAGRAT, the next 4 years, NAT, the next other one, they go on rotational basis. There is a representative from the Ministry of Education. Then there is a representative from local governments. Then all the churches in Ghana, faith-based, they also have a representation there. Non-teaching staff, they call them TEU. They also have a representation at a council. Then there should be one female educationist. Is also a member. Then the number 12 is the Director General. These are the 12 composition of GES Council. So please, GES Council has 12 members. If you are actually preparing for this year's promotion and you are still reading an archaic book that is telling you that the membership is 15, you know what to do. I will not tell you. Put it where it belongs. Don't go and read things which don't have meaning in today's education. Now, let's look at some of the functions of the GES Council. The GES Council, one of the functions they play is to advise the minister on policy formulation. They have to make their inputs to the Ministry of Education on how to always formulate their policies. They also make sure that there is effective, efficient implementation of basic and senior high school education in the country. They submit policy recommendation to the ministry, and they also collaborate with other local governments, and they ensure efficient performance in our educational system. And they also advise the minister. They advise the minister. If they want to advise the president, they advise the president through his minister. Now, let's look at the tenure of office of GES Council members. Here, you need to be very careful and know how the examiner is asking the question before you can do anything. You need to have a clear understanding of what they are doing. Now, the tenure of office is 4 years. And the 4 years, they are eligible for another 4 years. But remember, it is not applicable, or it does not apply to us, to the Director General. Now, GES Council also has 4 subcommittees. I just told you right now that DIOC has 30 members and it has 4 subcommittees. Again, I'm telling you that GES Council has 12 members and it's also having 4 subcommittees. Now, the 4 subcommittees of GES Council is Finance and Administration, Monitoring and Evaluation, Academic Oversight Committee. Then we have the Faith-Based Organization. These are the 4 subcommittees. Now let's look at the functions of the Director General. What is he supposed to be doing? The Director General is responsible for the day-to-day administration of our education. He is supposed to coordinate all the educational policies and activities at the regional and the district levels. He is supposed to do appointments, he is supposed to promote, he is supposed to transfer, he is supposed to discipline, he is supposed to dismiss, and what have you. These are the functions of the Director General. And in the absence of the Director General, his deputies perform the same role. Now, we have gotten to where I will say that the law is the law. The law is the law. Now, I want you to write this thing down for me. I want you to write this. Please take your papers and write this. Take your papers and write this. Take your papers and write this. I hope by now you should be ready with your papers. Write this in your papers. Write 1, Act 2020. Act 2020. Act 1049.
Kenzolo, you are going to.
And what? I said you should write. I said write. Write Act 2020. Act 1049. Number 1. Number 2. Write Act 2020. Act 1023. 3. Act 2020. Act 1055. I'll repeat it again. Number 1. Write Act 2020. Act 1049. Act 2020. Act 1023. Act 2020. Act 1055. Do you people all have it down?
Yes, please.
Have you gotten it?
Yes, please.
Please, the last one again.
I said Act 2020, 1049. Act 2020,
Yes.
1023. Act 2020, 1055. Now, IT team. Mute all of them for me. Now, what happened is that if you are able, if you are actually prepared for these exams, these 3 things I have just mentioned should be on your fingertips. And I'll let you understand that if you are able to get these 3 things perfectly, then you are 50% prepared for the exams. Having these 3 things perfectly done, you are prepared for the exams. Let me do some small politics here. And I want to use politics to relate my idea very well. And I know that as I am going to do that, you, the one who is listening to me, will not be offended. But for the purpose of the exams you are going to write, I want you to enter into the exam hall and you hear my voice very clear. As you read the question, you hear my voice very clear. And that is why I want to use these political examples to buttress my point. There was a law in Ghana, or an act, and it is called Act 1995. Act 1995. Act 506. And you know, in the year 1995, President Jerry John Rawlings was, I think, the president. And he came out with Act 1995, 506. And we started using this particular act. Before 1995 Act, what happened was that we had one of the longest acts we ever used. And we used that act for 34 years. And that was Act 87. You know, we use Act 87 for good 34 years. I'll be doing that damage tomorrow and tomorrow next. But all what I want you to understand now is that from Act 87, it took us 34 years. And so far in the history of Ghana, that is one of the longest serving acts, Act 87. Then comes the 1995 Act 506. Then, when Kufuor came to power, he was just ending his tenure of office in 2008, and he introduced another act, Act 2008, Act 778. And this is where I'm playing my politics on. When Kufuor introduced Act 778 in 2008, what he needed to do was to repeal 1995 Act 506 to give 778 a whole chance to operate. But then he did not do that, making Act 506 move along. 778 was also moving along. So you remember that those of you who actually went for face-to-face interview, you realize when you enter into the exams, enter into the interview room, they ask you that there are 2 acts that are currently running in Ghana, and those 2 acts are in conflict with each other. So you needed to just tell them that the conflict area is in section 35 of the act, where in 506, it puts education at the central level. If you wanted a furniture, you needed to write to the Director General. Then you come to 778, if you needed, and also put education at the District Assembly. So if you had a problem, you didn't know whether you were going to use 506 to demand for the problem to be solved, or you were using 778. And that was the problem Kufuor caused in 2008 for us. Without not repealing that one, he added the 2008 778. Now, immediately in 2029, Mills came. And when Mills came, he said they should bring that 2008 Act for him to look at it. And when Mills looked at that particular act, Mills asked them they should go and change the educational age from 4 years to 3 years, because the 778 originally had made senior high school 4 years. So when Mills came in 2009, he asked for the act and they reversed it back to 3 years. So in that particular year, there was a year that there were 3rd years and there were 4th years, and they all wrote the same exams. Now, I'm still blaming Mills also there, because when he asked for that act and he made changes, he should have repealed 506. And he also left it like that. 506 was in operation, then 778 was also in operation. I'll be talking more about these acts, I think, in my next 3 days, in my 3rd day. But I'm trying to establish something. That when Mills left it, the confusion was still going on until the year 2020, when His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa Showboy assented to Act 2020-1049 as our pre-tertiary act. And he did that on the 29th of December 2020. He assented to it. And Nana Akufo-Addo did not only assent to this Act 2020, he repealed 778 and 506, making 1049 the only pre-tertiary education act in the country now. So from where I am going to start from now, I want to let you know all the details in Act 2020-1049. And that is what we are going to do right now. The first thing you need to know about Act 2020-1049 is that it it defined our educational system for us. And it is saying that for the education in Ghana to fall under pre-tertiary education, this is the formation. There should be 2 years of kindergarten. There should be 6 years of primary school. There should be 3 years of junior high. And there should be 3 years of secondary education or technical education. Act 1049 has given us how our educational structure should look like. It was this act that brought the senior high school under pre-tertiary. Please take note that. You know, in 778, where the divisions were 10, senior high school had its own division. But when they were changing it to 1049, they had to bring senior high school now under basic education. Now, senior high school is part of pre-tertiary education again. It was Act 1049 that did that magic. Clause 2 of that same act is saying that there should be free and compulsory, education should be free and compulsory and universal. And the same law is saying that under no circumstance should a school-going child be denied of school. The cultural background of the child should not deny the child from going to school. His religious background should not deny him. His gender should not deny him. His economic background should not deny him. His geographical location should not deny a child of school-going age from gaining access to free, compulsory, universal basic school in the public schools in Ghana. Now, this same law, 1049, when they introduced it, there was a small boy who took Achimota to court and he won them because of this same law, where the boy went and said, look, at 1049, the second clause of it says that you should not deny me of education because of my religion. And he said the Rasta was his religion. So why do you want to deny him? Because the religion is the Rastafarian. He's a Rastafarian. And he said that was his religion. And the same act is saying that, the same act is also saying that don't deny a school-going child of education because of his religion. So the judge has to ask the child to go back to the Achimota and complete the school. And I know the regional chairman of NAGRAT, lawyer is listening to me, and he knows what I'm telling you is the law. And the law is the law. Regional chairman, I salute you. Lawyer Henry, thank you for joining. And I'm now in your territory. So I'll be very cautious to treat the law as the law. The same law again is saying that
thank you very much.
There should be inclusive education. Inclusive education. And you see, don't let us see
my microphone.
Don't let us see inclusion as gender. Inclusion is not gender. It is just making or creating an environment that is what? User-friendly for both disabled and the what? Able children in society.
So I hope you are still talking about the M49.
Is that what?
I hope you are still talking about Act 2020. Your sound went off, so I couldn't hear. That's what I'm asking.
I can't also hear. What did you say?
I said, I hope you are explaining the Act 2020 1049.
Yes. All what I'm saying is under Act 2020 1049.
Thank you very much.
All right. So clause 3 is talking about inclusiveness. And we need to make our environment user-friendly. And that is why these days, if you go and you are looking for permits, IT team, can you mute them for me? When they mute, they will even mute me and add. Thank you, IT team, for doing a very good job there. And Mr. Patrick Biney and your team, I appreciate you guys so much. You've made the delivery move so smoothly, and we are so grateful for your service and all your team members for doing this great job for us. And we are so proud of you, Mr. Biden. Then, as I'm talking about inclusiveness, we are now talking about, even these days, out of this law, if you want to build a structure and it is not user-friendly, disabled people cannot access that structure. They don't give you permission to go and build that thing. And it is part of the law here. Now, another part of Act 1049 is saying that, look, they spelled out the functions of GES. And they said, this is what GES is supposed to be doing. They are supposed to be monitoring. They are supposed to advise the minister and what have you. These are the functions of the Ghana Education Service. Now, it also, this same act established GES Council and made it 12 members. Please take note of that. This was where we're getting our 12. It is Act 1049 that has reduced the number of council members from 15 to 12. Please take note of that. This is Act 1049, reduce council members, because if you go to Act 2008-778, the council members are supposed to be 15. That is why the national president and the regional executives and the national executives are saying that to tell you that if you are reading any book that is having 15 membership, please throw that book away. So 1049 created GES Council and made it 12 members. And I've taken you through the 12 membership. I've taken you through the 12 membership. And the same law also shows us the functions of the GES Council. And I have discussed the functions of GES Council with you. The same law talks about the tenure of office, the tenure of office of council members. And it's saying that they should have 4 years and they are eligible for reappointment for another term only. So they can only go for 8 years, 4 and another 4. But it does not apply to what? To the Director General. And the same law is saying that, look, if you misbehave, the president can what? Sack you. And the same law is saying that they don't take salary, they only take allowance. The same law, 1049, established the 4 subcommittees for GES Council. And these are the 4 subcommittees. I have treated it with you. Now, the same law is saying that it shows the functions of the Director General. The same law shows us the functions of the Deputy Director General. And I told you earlier on that in the absence of the Director General, the deputies perform his role. And the same law talks about the functions of the Director General. The same act reduced the divisions from 10 to 5. And I have taken you through all the 5 divisions. And the same law or the same act created the units and made them 29 units. The same act shows the functions of a regional director of education. And it also tells us how a district education office is supposed to operate. The same act also let the district assembly knows its responsibility to education. The same law established DIOC and made it 30 members and also had its composition and also had 4 subcommittees on DIOC. And the last part of the law of Act 2020-1049 has to do with the establishment of Ghana TVET Service. It was this law, 1049, that actually established the Ghana TVET Service. Ghana TVET Service was actually once a division. It was a division in 77 and Act 2008-778. It was a division under the ministry, under Ghana Education Service, where the divisional directors were 10. TVET was a division. but now TVET is a service, and it is at 1049 that established TVET as a service. And this is the part I want you to understand, that 1049 made TVET a service. It didn't stop there. It also established TVET Council and made its council members 13. So TVET Council is made up of 13 members. Please write it down. TVET has 13 council members. TVET has 13 council members. Let me run you through TVET council members. TVET council members. There's a chairman, like GES with 10-year working experience. There is somebody from the Ministry of Education. There is somebody from the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations. There's somebody from the ministry responsible for local government and rural development. And there's somebody from the ministry responsible for trade and industry. And there's somebody also from their commission, CTVET. And they also have somebody from the heads of their technical schools. So they have an association. One of the head teachers is also a member of their council. Then the Ghana Employers Association is also having a member. The Association of Industries is also nominated by one person, and Ghana Chamber of Commerce also having one person there. Then we have 2 persons with experience in technical and vocational education training. Then their Director General. These are the 13 members of Ghana TVET service. Now let me stop here again and tell you that there is difference between Ghana TVET service, TVET service, CTVET. These 3 things are not the same. These 3, they are not the same. TVET is a course. Ghana TVET service is a service like Ghana Education Service. I'll be telling you how they have also gotten their regional directors. They also have their Director General and Deputy Director Generals at the Ghana TVET service. They also have district directors, municipal directors of TVET, regional directors of TVET. So Ghana TVET service is just like GES. Then the CTVET is the body responsible for regulating the technical institutions. So on this note, I have been talking for 2 hours. I have not even gone quarter of what you need to learn. So tomorrow, God willing, at 8 again, we will come, and in 1 minute, not even more than 8, we will hit the road running, and we'll cover a lot. Tomorrow, God willing, after 30 minutes of my presentation, I will stop and teach you what you need to know to be able to answer the true or false question. There's a strategy. You need to move into the exams into the exam hall to be able to answer the true or false question. I will expose you to that. The same tomorrow again. I will let you know that the filling is supposed to be something very easy. We'll show you the technique to be able to use in the filling. On this note, I just want to pause so that Madam Salah will address us. If President is around, he will also talk to his members across the country. On this note, my name is King Solomon, and I have displayed my number out there. I'm one of the national facilitators when it comes to these promotion issues. This is my 3rd year of engaging NAGRAT members. The last 2 years, I engaged Central Region. Last year, I engaged Central Region and Greater Accra. And Madam Salamatu gave me the opportunity, and Lawyer Henry also gave me the opportunity to do a presentation in Accra for his Accra members, NAGRAT members in Accra. And I just want to thank them for the opportunity. We got a very good pass in our last time, and the National has decided to take it up. And I want to say thank you very much to the leadership of the National Executive led by Mr. Eric Kabonu, who will be handing over to the new leadership very soon. On this note, is Madam Salah around? Madam Chair, is lawyer around?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Lawyer.
Yes.
Please, on
King
behalf
Solomon.
of the national president, is national president around?
No, please.
So please, can you address your members on his behalf?
Yes, please. So good evening, colleagues. I want to thank President Mr. Eric Angel Kabunu and his national officers as well as NEC for the honor done us by contracting King Solomon to take us through this promotion exam training. I also want to thank Madam Salamatu Gausu, the Central Regional Chairperson, for her creativity. Actually, we got King Solomon through her. And at our NEC last week, we proposed that National take over the program so that all NAGRAT members across the country can benefit from it. NEC accepted, the president accepted with his national officers, and that is why we are having this program. So we are grateful to all. Today is the first day, and I'm sure that some members were struggling from what I'm getting, feedback I'm getting. Some members have been struggling to get on board. I believe largely as a result of network or Microsoft requirements. Please, let's try and then get our network sorted out, and then our Microsoft maybe access also sorted out so that from tomorrow we'll benefit much from this program. On behalf of the national leadership, I also want to thank King Solomon and my good brother, Mr. Piney, the IT team from Cape Coast, for the good work they've been doing over the last years. We are grateful to the IT team as well. We know without you, this program wouldn't have come off. So we are thankful to you. But above all, we are thankful to the Almighty God for granting us strength to be able to participate in this program. Our prayer is that all those who are writing and then this exam will pass and pass well, so that at the end of it all, our effort will be crowned with success. On that note, I thank you all for coming and joining us. Please tell our colleagues, monitoring the number of people who participated, we were a little about around, we were just close to 200, but I believe we can be more than that because this network service can take up to about 1,000 plus. So we are still way below the bandwidth that we have in terms of members or in terms of participants. So let's tell our members, those who are not aware, let's let them know that we are having a training workshop like this that will be beneficial to our passing of the promotion exams. Thank you, King Solomon. Thank you, Salah. Thank you, President. And let us all have a good night.
Thank you, lawyer.
Hello.
All right, thank you. Please, I have a small concern.
Hello,
I'd like to
Solo.
say if I could get
Yes,
Chair,
Madam Chair, Salah.
Please, I would like us to acknowledge the presence of our National Deputy General Secretary.
Okay.
He's also on the platform. He wants to share a word with us.
Okay.
Mr. Kwame Koko, Renee, the floor is yours. Hello, Deputy. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. The floor is yours, Deputy. We are listening since you are the only national officer.
Hello. Good evening, King Solo and the team, and good evening, colleague NAGRAT members. I thank you all for coming on board to acquire knowledge to be able to write this year promotion exam and pass very well. I listened through and I'm happy about the knowledge that the King Solo and his team are giving us. And I know when we listen carefully and take note and read, we're able to pass this exam very well. I also notice how some challenges that we are facing, joining and muting and talking at the background, that disturb us a little during the presentation. It's my hope that tomorrow and the subsequent ones be able to adjust properly so that the presentation will flow very well. And this is on behalf of the president and other national officers. We thank King Solo and his team and all members that joined. As Chairman Henry said, let's encourage our members to join so that we learn. Now we are taking away the face-to-face and we are embracing the technology that will help us wherever we find ourselves in this country. We can join and acquire knowledge to be able to sit this exam and pass well. This note, we thank you so much, and let's tomorrow be better than today. Good night to all of us.
Right. Solo, over to you. Thank you.
All right. So please, exactly 8 tomorrow, I would like every member to join. If you can even join 15 minutes before the time, because what I'm going to treat tomorrow is very crucial. If you want to actually pass these promotion exams, please, by 7:45, be online, be in the classroom and wait, because exactly 8, not even 1 minute will pass, we'll set the ball rolling. And I want to say thank you to the national officers for giving myself and my team the opportunity to interact with NAGRAT members nationwide. On this note, I call it a day.
All right, thank you. But please, I have a small concern. Hello?
Yes.
Please, I have not received my index number yet. The master that came, my name was in Meanwhile, I registered. So in this case, what should I do?
Please
you have to go and
visit your
report to your
district.
original HR.
Yes.
Okay.
Or the district HR.
Okay.
Go to your district HR first.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, the national executives. God bless you. We thank you for what you have done for us.
Thank you.